everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We're all set to bring you a terrific contest here as these two divisional rivals renew acquaintances for the first time this season. There's always a little something extra at stake when these teams face off. It's the Mounties going up against the Broncos. So let's get you out to Denver for the call of our game. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, as you get a look at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Toronto Mounties and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors from north of the border, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
As they run the counter play. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Surveying the field. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Brad Wing now to punt it away on 4th down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. Going to throw right side here. Complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. All week in practice, they stress grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game. Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
They go play action here on 1st down. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
And here my old college coach right now, he always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They come out here in the eye.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Give him 18 on that one. And that enables him to also pick up the first. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. 9 yards to go. It's 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. Now the ball comes loose, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
But that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
Really, it's a solid draft class from a year ago. They were able to address some key weak spots on their team and fill in some holes.
And they were able to identify the players they wanted early in the process. Got a little bit of luck, as some guys may have fallen to them. But for the most part, knew their philosophy and stuck to it.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Broncos defense coming back onto the field. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Maybe you didn't like it when you heard those words.
It depended on when they were yelling them. But in this situation, absolutely perfect. Get off the field, force a punt, let the offense take over and do their thing, and it resulted in a field goal.
Now we'll see if they can do that again.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage. Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Now they'll run it on the toss. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
His throw caught right around the 6. That one goes for 24 yards.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They come out here in the eye.
Green 39. Green 39.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now. They might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
And his kick is indeed good, and it's 3-0 here in the second quarter. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem there's a little...
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up fourth down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Let's take it inside his own 40. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And now back out comes the offense. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
As a general rule, receivers love the comeback route because it puts them right in the sight lines of the guy throwing the ball. But in this case, the defender saw it and were able to knock it away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So the Broncos coming out now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
He'll drop to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Holding offense.
Costly mistake for the offense. They now face 17 yards to go on third down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's got some space here. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
You know it's really hard for a big-time running back? It's patience. Being able to hang in there when the runs aren't there, when you're taking some hits early in the game. With this drive, oh, he's come alive and in a big way. Now he's starting to gallop.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before.
And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. And there's going to be...
After review of the play, the on-field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. He's going to go up top again. And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you're talking about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. Hey, go down.
All right, here we go. Watch it now, Mounties.
Looking to throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it. or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. They'll look to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all that.
Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. .46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Returnable here from the 38. 12 yards on the return that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Demarcus Lawrence in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll drop to throw. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. 10 yards to go on 3rd. They'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Looking for the end zone. And this is incomplete. So we reach, well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. 2nd down following the run. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll come out in the pistol. They run the counter now on first down. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And they'll go on the ground. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. He'll field this at the 5. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. He'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And a nice gain at 21 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Now let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the cutback to the sideline. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Okay, I'm giving credit and then some on this call. When it's 4th and that many, you know that 99% of the coaches are throwing the football. In this case, though, they figured the defense was playing the pass, took a chance, ran the ball, and picked up the first down.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Legs still churning. And now off to the races down the right side. 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos get a bit closer. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
That was a good, strong run there. And while it won't pick up a first down, it was definitely something needed by that offense. A positive run. They got a good push by their guys up front. Maybe something they can build on as this game continues.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down. That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little
Back now at the home of the champs, Sports Authority Field in Denver, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. They'll look to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the Broncos get there and take him down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense, because you've got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, they'll give a lot of credit to the defense. They communicated well. You could hear them talking to each other on the field, and they reacted and knocked it away.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. Back to throw again. Catch here, left side, Thomas. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. Looking deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Chuck Pagano decides to go. It doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they're going to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Play clock winding down. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line. So it'll come out to the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. Second down now after the pass completion. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. It's a 9-yard gain and it keeps the drive moving.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll get 16 yards there. And it'll give the Broncos a first down. Red zone opportunity.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we got to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And he cuts it right sideline. And he's brought down. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And on the ground they go with a running back.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll run it here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And they'll send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays,
this is caught inside the 15. A huge play there for Denver. 43 yards. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. That's a tough one not to hang on to on 3rd and goal, but good job defensively to get there and jar it loose.
Agreed. That was really, really nicely done because there's no pass interference on the play. Timing excellent to get in there and knock it away. A win for the defense, and it brings up 4th down.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line.